One home is in danger.
This is what Orange County firefighters are calling a possible sinkhole. It's about 40 to 50 feet wide and 30 to 40 feet deep. An unexpected surprise for homeowner Susie Bluemanor, who just this weekend had a pool party here.
I didn't know what to think, and then I realized that there was a hole in the ground.
Orange Fire Rescue showed up to this home on Roxbury Road at about 8:30 last night. They say since then the hole hasn't grown much, but out of precaution, Bluemanor voluntarily evacuated the home, and close-by neighbors are now on standby.
Oh, I checked my insurance policy. My wife walked out, and she's more of a worrier than me. She saw these cracks in the street and started getting all nervous. So, but yeah, I'm covered. I'm fully covered for sinkholes. So.
Neighbors worry this nearby drilling well might be the source of the problem.
And all you get is banging, kaboom, kaboom, and that's all you hear. It's very strong, very hard, and very loud. And my dogs, I have a couple dogs, and they were shaking so bad during the week while it was banging.
Crews are repairing a 12-foot deep sinkhole that opened up on a street in southern New Jersey at the intersection of Bay Avenue and 20th Street in Ocean City. It's not yet clear what caused the hole to form on Wednesday evening. However, the Press of Atlantic City reports work was being done on some nearby water mains. A gas company crew checked to make sure the gas main was not breached. They found no signs of a leak. For NBCNews.com, I'm Dara Brown. Sinkhole swallows a number of homes in Russia. The houses all fell into this 45-foot deep sinkhole in a little town in central Russia. One resident said he heard a rumbling noise and then saw a tree outside his window just disappear. Engineers believe groundwater washed away the soil underneath the house. Authorities have evacuated the residents and don't believe they'll be able to return there permanently.
Backyard between a vacant house and a home where a family lives, a sinkhole is straddling the property line. It's about 12 feet across and 5 feet deep in the middle.
After this thing this past week, it's very scary.
With the deadly sinkhole on everyone's mind, this one brought out the curious and the concern.
Is it too close for comfort having to cross the street?
Yeah. Is my house gonna sink? Yeah, it's scary.
Anna Marie Cerna owns the vacant house. It's up for a short sale. A neighbor called her with the bad news.
When see my house, what happened? Everybody over here. He said, no, you had a problem with the sinkhole.
Cerna isn't shocked to see a hole in her backyard. She remembers hearing about a filled-in sinkhole the previous owner took care of.
For me, no es extraño. ¿Cómo se dice?
Strange.
No es extraño because when Lee over here, the hole is a little.
Long side of here, all the way up. See it? All the way up.
And 2 houses down, a friend of the homeowner showed me where hairline cracks.
It has that staircasing damage all the way up.
Have developed.
It's cracking from up over there alongside of here.
On the outside and in.
They're scared. They're not going to stay here this evening. They're not going to stay here tomorrow.
Hillsborough County officials will continue to monitor the sinkhole to see if it grows and will make any future decisions based on their observation. In Seffner, Peter Bernard, News Channel.
A massive sinkhole swallows several buildings in China, one at a time. First, the sinkhole collapsed a 3-story building, and then later that night, it devoured yet another large building. Fortunately, no one was injured in either collapse, and workers have now filled in the large hole. More than 300 people remain evacuated from the area as workers secure the site. For NBCNews.com, I'm Dara Brown. A sinkhole estimated to be the size of 4 football fields opens up the ground in Ohio. The massive hole has eaten away a part of a state highway. It will have to be closed for months while engineers figure out how best to repair it. A pond near the sinkhole collapsed and created the massive dent in the earth. The Department of Transportation thinks that nearby dredging by an asphalt company may have led to the collapse. It happened so quickly, employees had to run down the road to warn traffic the road had caved in.
A large sinkhole that's opened up in a Florida neighborhood and forced at least one family to move out is threatening more homes this morning. NBC's Carrie Sanders is in Windermere, Florida, with more on this story. Hey, Carrie, good morning.
Well, good morning, and sinkholes are not that rare because they dot the central Florida landscape, but this one is a little bit different because it appears to still be growing. Now, we don't know how deep it is, so I've set up a little experiment here. We've got a weight, and we've measured the rope out every 6 feet. So as I toss this out of the water, take a look at what was and what is. What is now a giant hole in the ground was just a few days ago a backyard playground where sandhill cranes paraded in the afternoon sun, a spot of serenity that disappeared when the earth began to swallow the yard.
What's emergency? There's a gigantic hole in my backyard.
In that first call to 911, resident Lou Lambros went from incredulous curiosity to full-on emergency evacuation.
Everybody out of the house. Come on, everybody out of the house.
Denise Lambros was the first to realize something was wrong as the hole took down 4 30-foot tall oak trees.
He woke me up and said, "Lou, there's a hole in the backyard," and I told her it's probably a warthog. I don't know why I said warthog, but
I said, "No, there is a hole."
She was shaking, and then when I saw her shaking and the panic in her face, we both ran downstairs, and as we ran down, it was collapsing. The ground was collapsing into itself.
The family evacuated and emptied their home just in case the sinkhole continues to grow, which is a very legitimate concern.
Police said it was 1,500 feet across and 200 feet deep.
In 1981, in nearby Winter Park, Florida, a sinkhole swallowed a car dealership, a public swimming pool, and a portion of the roadway, all in a single day. Geologists say these surprise openings are created when Florida's sandy soil on top of clay, which is all supported on a deep earth layer of limestone, faces a sudden and violent collapse. The catastrophic event is often a result of a dramatic shift in Florida's unique underground rivers. In this case, experts say one of those rivers likely started to dry up because of this year's record drought.
If you lower that water level, then all of a sudden you leave space where the ground on top can actually sink down into it, hence the sinkholes.
So there is such a thing as sinkhole insurance, but it's not really a popular thing to people to buy. It's not mandatory. Now, we've measured it, and I pulled this back out. It's about 30 feet deep. That assumes that our weight didn't actually hit one of the trees that was sucked down into the earth. And yes, Ann, as you saw at the bottom here, because this happened this weekend, this is a Cinco de Mayo.
Carrie Sanders giving us something to smile about. And it's nice to see the family also having a sense of humor about this. Thanks so much this morning.